Greetings, students of the Force and acolytes of the galaxy, and welcome back to the channel. Finally, we have the official release of Crimson Reign number 4, which involves the Knights of Ren and their hunt for Darth Vader's castle and a mysterious key that they must bring to Qi'ra, who we will know from Solo: A Star Wars Story and is one of the leaders of Crimson Dawn, and is of course an underling of Darth Maul himself. I'm going to make this a two-part video, as the second part will very much focus on Vader and his relationship and duel with the Knights of Ren. But the first half of the comic book does a lot of building, including revealing Darth Sidious's plan for the Knights of Ren, what the Knights of Ren intend to do about it, and an inside look at Darth Vader's castle and sections of the castle we've never seen before. And we'll really be focusing on that, the Knights of Ren and their relationship with the wider galaxy after the rise of the Empire, in this first video. Stay tuned later today to see exactly what happens with Darth Vader and the Knights of Ren and an explanation for it. So without further ado, let us begin. The comic book kicks off with Qi'ra going to the Knights of Ren, stating that she needs something stolen from Lord Vader's castle. She meets with their leader, who is known simply as Ren. We learned several years ago that Ren is a title that is passed down to the leader of the Knights of Ren, which is why later in the timeline Kylo will be known as Kylo Ren, denoting him as their leader. This character though simply goes by Ren, but states that he inherited the lightsaber as well as the name of Ren from the previous leader who he defeated in single combat, something that we know later Ben Solo will do against Ren and again become Kylo Ren. The Knights of Ren are very much aligned to the dark side, however they refer to it as the Shadow and the Ren, more specifically the Ren being the red lightsaber that their leader possesses. They wield the dark side of the Force, but on a much smaller level than the Sith do, something that we'll talk about in the next video. However, at this point in time and in the galaxy, the Knights of Ren are in sort of a panic, as the Jedi Order is beginning to fully collapse now following the events of Order 66, as well as word has reached Ren that the Night Sister Coven was also destroyed by Darth Sidious and his underling in General Grievous. These are events that happened several years ago, but again, word travels around with Force sensitives in the galaxy. In this era of time, Darth Sidious is undergoing a massive purge, but not just a purge of the Jedi and the Night Sisters, but all Force sensitives from around the galaxy. According to Ren though, there are still some Jedi and Night Sisters out there, which is what the Inquisitors and Lord Vader are currently working on. This gives us a clear indication of Darth Sidious's relationship with the Knights of Ren and other Force sects in the galaxy, even if they are dark side in origin and dark side in alignment. We originally theorized that the Knights of Ren were worshippers of the Sith, which we now know is completely not true. However, they are aligned with the dark side and do worship the Ren, which is their embodiment of the dark side. However, their knowledge is severely limited, and the Knights of Ren as a group know that they are no match for the Sith. The Knights of Ren as we find them here are sort of an amalgamation of bounty hunters as well as dark side wielders, but it's very clear that they are on a much lower level even than someone like an Inquisitor, and do not have any formal training in the Force, which is why only one of them wields a lightsaber, that being Ren, a lightsaber that he did not construct himself but was passed down. We learn that Ren knows that Darth Sidious is not hunting them currently, but that he soon will be as soon as the Jedi threat is eliminated. Hearing word that other Force sensitives from around the galaxy are also being purged along with the Jedi. This isn't an effort for Darth Sidious to consolidate as much power as possible, not only destroying the Jedi, but any other Force sensitive group that could rise up to oppose him. As Ren puts it though, currently, the Knights are small fish in a very large pond, but that it won't always be this way. Therefore, they need to align with Crimson Dawn and Qi'ra due to their wealth, with the Knights of Ren believing that Qi'ra's reward will allow them enough time to free from Darth Sidious, and that they can also send a message to the Sith by striking first. When the Knights of Ren eventually make their way to Mustafar, they discover a hidden gate. They all have to use their combined might in the Force to lift up lava that is hiding a secret entrance, an entrance that fans of the Darth Vader comic will know well, an entrance where Lord Mammon created a gateway to the afterlife in which Vader entered, before he eventually killed Lord Mammon for his betrayal. The Knights of Ren enter this cave, finding the helmet of Lord Mammon, and they sense that the dark side, or as they refer to it, the Shadow, is extremely potent here. As fans will know, Darth Vader's castle was in fact built upon a dark side nexus, which is why it was able to open up a gate to the afterlife which Mammon exposed. This is why the Knights of Ren are feeling such tremendous power and ability in the dark side, because they likely have never experienced a Force nexus before. As they continue on through the castle, they also find something else intriguing that has never been touched upon in Star Wars canon or Star Wars lore at all, that being massive tanks filled with Bacta, as one of the Knights of Ren actually spits in one of the the tanks, as a small parting gift for Lord Vader. The knights here, though, are quite perplexed, as they state that all of this Bacta would be enough to heal an entire army, and they contemplate and speculate what it's actually used for. As fans, though, we already know Vader's purpose for this Bacta, as he uses it to relieve himself and have momentary relief from the pain that he has, injuries that will never leave him, courtesy of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Going back slightly, we also see that Lord Mammon is still somewhat around, his spirit contained within his mask, and that you cannot truly ever vanquish a Sith spirit that is bound to an object without destroying the object, something that appears as if a Knight of Ren actually did. So it appears as if Mammon's spirit has finally been vanquished with the destruction of his mask. However, it's interesting that Darth Vader opted to keep the mask intact beneath his temple, likely to have Lord Mammon suffer and be alone in isolation completely, with hopes that he could one day return, but this all being a game for Darth Vader. But that was the first part of Crimson Reign number 4. Again, there's a ton of world building here with the Knights of Ren, as well as different rooms in Lord Vader's castle. For years, I speculated that the Knights of Ren were actually worshippers of the Sith, so to see that the Knights of Ren are actually enemies of the Sith is quite an intriguing reveal. Although in The Rise of Skywalker we later know that the Knights of Ren align with Darth Sidious, it makes sense that there would be a group of Darksiders who couldn't touch the Force quite on the level of a Sith that would band together and use the dark side for their own personal nefarious means. Not means that would further a wider order, but for surface level pleasures including wealth. This is a concept that's actually heavily explored in Legends continuity when differentiating Dark Jedi from Sith. With this being a quote from Legends, a Dark Jedi on the other hand has much smaller ambitions. He or she thinks only of himself, he acts alone. The ultimate goal is not galactic conquest, but personal wealth and importance. Like a common thug or criminal, he revels in cruelty and selfishness. He preys upon the weak and vulnerable, spreading misery and suffering wherever he goes. This is the pure embodiment of what the Knights of Ren are. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this first part to a close. Stay tuned on the channel later today for a full breakdown of what happens when Lord Vader and the Knights of Ren encounter one another, as well as Darth Vader's opinion on the Knights of Ren. Thank you as always so much for watching, my friends. Hopefully I'll see you later today. Go in peace, and may the Force be with you.